Welcome to the Valt Podcast. We are your car culture cultivators. Super excited to be here today. We have a great show in store for you. Let me first start with the introductions. Of course, I am Sean and joined by
Joe. How's it going?
And Robert. And VJ.
So cool. So Joe, what do we have on the agenda today?
So Jalopnik found their favorite headlights of all time.
time.
I wanted to see if you agreed. So we have,
that looks like a bug.
Yeah.
Doesn't that look like a bug?
yeah. So there's this thing,
Looks rad.
Cool. I did not know
the
about
Buick
this.
Riviera
That's dope.
Ooh.
from
Yeah,
like
I
what
remember
the
those.
68 or something like that.
65.
Look how
How is it
slow
still
that
working?
is.
That's
Those
pretty
high beams
cool.
supposed to be horrible to actuate.
That's pretty cool.
So there's that. We got the Volvo.
Yeah, the modern Volvos are nice.
Modern
looking.
Volvo's great headlights.
Is this the one that winks? When you turn on the car, it kind of opens and closes.
Oh, I don't know. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
it does a lot.
Audi does that. Some of the Audis
do that. Yeah, your
But
Audis
it's
do
actually
that.
structural and it moves.
Oh,
like an eyelid.
I thought that was the
closing.
Polestar 1. Is that not the Polestar 1?
Yeah, it's a Volvo thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
Maybe it's this Volvo. Yeah,
It
well,
could
that's
be
cool.
this
I didn't know
Volvo. Yeah,
about
this
that.
looks like the sedan or something.
yeah, that's why they
Um,
posted it.
Yeah, these are pretty iconic. I don't
Modern
think they
GTV circles.
look amazing, but they're definitely
Yeah, there's something.
iconic.
Yeah. Then we got this
Why?
Whatever that is.
Lincoln.
It must have some weird movement.
Oh, it's
or
10 minutes. Yeah. So their claim to this being an iconic headlight is because it took the U.S. out of the sealed beam era.
Okay.
Still, it's a rectangle, and there's so many rectangle headlights. So this is not.
I guess it's
That's-
just relevant.
That's
Yeah.
a whole lot of
Dude,
headlights.
why is Jalopnik making us click through things like Jalopnik has?
They want that
Jalopnik
click
is
rate, baby.
An ad dumb website. There's nothing more.
I know it's just so
Toronado. It's the same
is
thing
cool.
as the Buick Riviera.
Yeah, but it's grill. But it's a grill.
Dude, they need to go faster with this.
Oh, that's actually really fast.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
That was
Okay.
That was cool.
There's that 917
Yeah,
typical.
iconic. Sure, okay.
It's a race car.
Pontiac GTO 70s as just rectangles. So
Yes,
you know.
that's cool.
Um,
Yeah,
These are
the
cool. I like
angry
the
eyelashes
Buicks.
on the
Yeah,
Invicta.
I like that. That's nice. 300 SE,
Iconic,
108s
but
or whatever,
I guess,
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mid.
This is leading up to something. We got the Genesis. That's interesting.
Oh, no.
I didn't
didn't
like
get
that car. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did not like those headlights, but
Looks-
okay, it's
Yeah.
their own.
It looks arthropodic.
It's in line with the Volvo take.
Chisetta, speaking of, is 16.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, it's hard to not
All
love
the
this car.
headlights.
4 of them. Yeah.
A quad pop-up
Just in
headlight?
case you thought
That's
you
freaking
had
dope.
problems with your Miata pop-ups,
Exactly.
now you have 4, and it's probably built to the same standard of quality.
Whatever
No.
this is.
That's Infinity.
In third
This
gen
is-
Infinity.
This is an eyesore.
Every time I see one,
Look at
of
all
those,
these different things.
dude. Every time I see one of those on the road, the headlights stand out because they're so shockingly bad.
Ugh.
What does they say
Yeah.
in the comment? It has to be.
Gatling gun style lights.
Yeah, they do look wild.
Yeah.
Nope,
They
wrong.
don't, no, those aren't
They don't
good.
look good. They're just
The
great.
typical.
Oh, this is
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, these
hideaway
are
headlights.
some of the classic.
But is it the
hideaways.
headlight or is it the grill?
It's probably
the
it's the
grill.
grill.
Exactly.
Typical. They steer with you, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they picked that.
Hydrodynamic directional headlights.
Hydrodynamic. So when they break,
All right,
they
RS2000 with the rally
RS200.
lights. RS200. Sorry.
from a spider
Spider. Yeah.
enclosed,
Mm-hmm.
and finally
These are like the evolution of the headlight.
nothing. So
Porsche.
I was wondering if you guys agree with that, or if there were any other iconic.
I feel like
headlights.
the enclosed headlight thing on the Spider should just be replaced by like a 2.7, like a Ferrari. Like, why did they not have like an early Ferrari with enclosed headlights?
yeah,
It's
like a 275 or something like that.
arguably a lot more iconic.
Yeah.
but
Uh,
yeah,
Anyone else
I
think
guess
that
so.
there's?
Some of those modern takes were terrible,
Yeah, I like the Volvos, but the Genesis is like
weird, and the
Kinda weird.
Infinity is crazy.
Yeah.
Infinity was wrong, straight up wrong.
Infinity's just wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just wrong.
I mean, is it best headlights or is it more like weirdest or
Yeah,
most,
like most iconic
most,
or
yeah.
memorable.
Yeah, I guess like most.
I'm surprised.
memorable.
I'm surprised. Like Audi and Porsche didn't make it on there because
Totally.
like the modern Porsche lights and the modern Audi lights are pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And even BMW, as much as like people love to hate on BMW, the modern like the BMW LED stuff
Yeah.
in the 2000s and now
And they didn't have one on there.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
Porsche headlights, the LED
They're
ones
sick.
are hella nice.
The
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
GTS and the GT3 lights. And
yeah, I
the
mean
new-
they should replace the.
Four-part headlights.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
They
Four
should have replaced
parts.
like a couple of them with the modern stuff. Like
I
that.
mean, and if they're going after iconic, why not do 911? It's probably one of the most iconic light profiles of any car.
Yeah.
Because it's been around for so damn
Well,
long.
they're going above and beyond and saying the best headlights of all time.
Yeah,
I
it's just
don't know-
clickbait.
I don't know about that.
It's just clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So up next, I guess there's going to be a Model 3 Plaid.
Oh, nice.
All right, next piece of news.
Yeah.
It's
Is
this
there any
guy.
real news?
That's all we need. That's all.
Dude,
I
there's
don't-
17 photos.
I don't
Look
care.
at it. Look at it.
I don't
Look at
care.
all these
Go to the
photos.
next one. We're wasting, our,
Look at that. Look at the
wasting
spoiler.
out minutes of our life.
Aerodynamic.
Come on, go. I'm so bored. VJ toured the Tesla factory.
Another
Tell us
Tesla
about
news.
Tesla.
Yeah, toured the Tesla factory.
Yeah, so anyone can tour the Tesla factory if an employee working there invites you. So it's about an hour-long tour where you sit in a tram, which has premium Tesla seats, and they drive you across.
an
I'm
EV?
sorry, not to go too far.
Yeah.
I mean, for the dumbed down audience like myself, what is a Tetia?
What? Tesla?
Tesla?
It's a license plate I saw with it.
Tesla.
Tesla had a license plate that said Tesla. It's like saying Tesla with a lisp.
Okay.
Tesla.
With a lisp. Yeah.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Tesla.
So I went to the Fremont factory, which is like, it has 4.5 million square feet worth of area, and it builds S3 X and Y. And it was a 1 hour long tour where they take you through all the assembly lines of all the 4 cars. And it's inside a tram where like there's a narrator who talks you through all the different processes. And like the most interesting thing I saw in the whole thing was the biggest stamping machine in North America, which is 7 stories tall.
What?
And every time it stamps a body, a subframe or whatever for the cars, it creates enough signature, enough of vibration that it gets recorded by the U.S. Earthquake. Earthquake.
That's
cool.
crazy.
Yeah, detection
How much
systems.
energy does that take?
No idea. Must be enough to run like a town.
Jesus.
So like 7-story building sized stamping machine, which they got for $4 million from a company that was bankrupt. So like they got it. It's worth 50 million, but they got it for 4 million.
That's a
Even
good
the
buy.
factory itself was worth 1.5 billion or something. And then when Toyota and GM partnership came to an end in 2008 or 10, they just wanted to sell off this factory as a tax write-off or something, and they got the factory for $40 million. Yeah,
Good Lord.
They got it for $8 per square feet.
That's insane.
So,
All right, well,
yeah, that's
Tesla.
Yeah, it was fun. Like it has a really good utilization of the 3D space inside. Like there's a lot of things going above your head, and like,
Yeah.
the whole assembly line is like very efficient.
I'm sure.
in terms of
we're
space
really,
utilization.
we're really talking about Tesla, aren't we?
Yeah.
But
I was like, I'm really like, what the hell is Tesla?
It's Tesla. It's literally Tesla.
Oh, VJ's always coming in like, oh, I did this, I did that. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not into racing.
Yeah.
Every time he's saying something, it's almost like a
no, but
No,
like,
literally
it's,
Tesla.
It's
What
building cars. So
It's building Teslas on the road.
it's building. Yeah.
Edit that whole segment out for me.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
They push out 2,500 cars a day from there. So
Crazy.
it's cool.
Yeah.
So lastly, there is no, I don't want this. How do I?
You can't. It's a paywall.
Well, Bugatti's making
next
a
engine
16
is a
cylinder.
V16.
Because in the words,
It's a V16 hybrid. Yeah.
it's a V16 because
the
in the words
Rimac
of
stuff.
Direct Ham Scott, a V8 or a V12 is too poor to be a Bugatti. It's too poor.
It's just weird. I don't know why they went. I'm really curious to hear why they went away from the W16 and towards the V16.
packaging
there's
for
reasons.
hybrid stuff, I guess.
Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
can put more battery stuff
exactly
around the
what we thought.
sides.
Is it still a quad turbo situation, or is it going to be NA? And do we know?
I guess it should still be.
Got paywall,
Turbocharged.
unfortunately.
Well, cool to see a successor coming. I don't think there's been an interesting Bugatti to look at since the EB110, but it's cool that there's another one coming out.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So going into Vault News, make sure that you're subscribed to the Vault podcast. If you're listening to this, that means you're watching on YouTube. We post every single week, and these seem to get better and better every single time. And
I want to buy an XJ220.
He wants to buy an XJ220, and in order to do that, we need to monetize, and that means we need subscribers and views. So like the video if you enjoyed it, and comment down
XJ220s are
below.
only $400,000. So if we generate $400,000 of revenue to this business, we will buy an XJ220.
Jeez, I'm just trying to pay the PG&E in this place. I think I'm looking at it all wrong.
No, you need an XJ220.
Yeah, please comment down below a strategy for achieving this for us. But yeah, make sure you're subscribed.
Only $400,000.
In other news, a member drive is this weekend. Very, very soon. I'm looking forward to that. We're going up in some San Jose hills, so that'll be fun. Yeah. The next one that's in Solano is March 17th. That is this month, probably a couple weeks from now. And then lastly, the thing I want to kind of like introduce, we haven't announced a specific date yet, but our Cars and Barbecue series of events is going to be starting in April out in Port Richmond. The barbecue truck that we've worked with, or that we're working with, is very excited and is even going to be bringing in a band and stuff to like play music. So
You mean barbecue?
yeah,
Barbecue.
So
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'll happen every month from April to September. So that'll be good. And yeah, with that, we'll go into product updates.
Blaupunkt radio in Joe's wagon.
Yeah. So my radio stopped working on one side of the car like a month and a half
So
ago.
it was like a pin issue, or
No, it just the radio needs to get rebuilt.
oh,
So I replaced
the radio itself, not the
the radio, the
speakers.
unit itself
I
is
see.
broken.
Okay, I thought you meant the
so-
speaker stopped working. On one
Yeah,
side.
the radio signal stopped working to
Yeah.
it. So I bought a new Blaupunkt radio, which is supposed to look like an old one, but it's like new. And I installed it. Luckily, that car has a factory radio harness, so and that's never been touched before. So it was plug and play, which was literally amazing. Took like no time at all.
Mm-hmm.
And now the speakers sound amazing, like because it's a modern unit with modern technology.
Yeah, super
and it's
clear.
like it's crazy that these speakers are from 1975. I mean, like it sounds
I mean,
like a
speaker
premium sound
technology
system.
isn't like
No.
crazy change in that
Yeah.
time. It's probably
It's
just
like next
transition.
level amazing. Like it's incredible. So that's my projects. What about you guys? Do you have any projects updates? Your E30 is possibly sold.
Yeah, my E30 is pending a sale.
Oh, nice.
Locally?
Locally or
Yeah, to one of our friends.
Okay, cool.
Hayden. You know Hayden?
Yeah.
The photographer?
Yeah.
Thomas's friend. The Camaro we are processing, so that'll go on bat sometime in March. I don't know. All my project updates are the cars in our inventory, basically. Which I probably shouldn't talk about the issues that I have to assess on them.
Nice.
Sean.
Well, as you guys can see, you may not be able to hear it, but you can certainly see it if you're watching the podcast. I have the engine. Well,
They might
maybe
not be able to see it.
May not be able
It's
to
a little
see
bit dark.
but it is sitting back there. So we have
Should I roll it up into
taken
frame?
that, yeah, taking that out, and we're prepping that to put that in. I ordered a valve cover for it last night. I ordered actually a gold
Plated, 24 karat gold plated valve cover.
powder coated. Powder coated. You know, wanted to
Did you
tone it down
actually?
a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Ordered last night.
You
from,
love gold.
This company. I love gold.
Yeah.
From this company in New Zealand. Well, I think it'll look good with the blue.
New Zealand?
Blue and gold look good. You know, blue and yellow.
Blue and orange, blue and yellow.
Exactly.
They are complementary colors.
Yeah. And so ordered that, waiting for that to come in. Still trying to figure it out with what exhaust I should put in there. So again,
You're
I'm running
putting
a
exhaust on that
Rebello
car?
motor in there.
Open head.
So, open head. Let's
Open
go for it
head.
all the way.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not that guy.
Equal
Destroy
length,
your
I'm not that guy.
equal
gums.
length long tube headers and no exhaust.
You know exhaust. So if you guys have any suggestions, make sure to put it in the comments because I'm kind of stuck on that one. So love to hear about it. Other than that, we spoke to my guy today on the Mini Cooper, and we are awaiting that motor. But I know my guy is going to come
He'll
through.
come through.
He'll
For
come
those who
through
don't
there.
know, he had a Mini last year, and it's
The
just gone.
Motor
That-
exploded.
The motor blew up, and now it's gone. It
So now,
hasn't.
now it's gone.
We don't know where it
The
is.
motor
Turned
coming
into
from
smoke.
the motor coming from Europe.
The motor is
It's
coming
from the UK,
from the
The
UK.
UK.
Yeah. So
which is weird because there's a lot of Minis around here, but
It's
You had a
supposed to
good
be a
one.
1.3, I think. It's coming.
yeah.
It's hard to find
supposed
certain
it's
motors.
a lot
Right.
cheaper there
Yeah,
than
yeah.
of course and is over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
You know.
course.
Everything. Yeah.
Just. Of
I know, I'm
course,
excited to
just
see
one
that
of those
car again. I drove it like one time, like up the block, and it's a hoot. But I wouldn't really want to have to rely on that car to get around.
things. Yeah, I totally miss driving that car.
Scary.
At some point, it became my favorite car to drive.
Yeah, well, that's why the motor blew.
Yeah.
Yep. That is exactly why the motor blew, because we were over revving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
You were revving
yeah,
it. You were
was
just
worth
driving
I'd
it.
do
That's
I'd do
why the
it.
motor blew, because you were driving it.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. I'd do it again.
Yeah.
Let's do
All
it
right.
How
again.
about you, VJ?
So I took the Beat to the DWA meet last weekend, all the way down to San Jose through the hills and everything. And I was also driving it along with the Lotus Evora GT.
Yeah.
And through the really twisty stuff, the Beat was just like on its tail, and it was like shocking and also extremely funny that a
Yeah.
Beat was keeping up with just 63 horsepower,
Yeah.
keeping up with the 400 horsepower Evora GT.
That's
Nice.
funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious because the roads were also wet. The Evora guy was too scared to drive fast.
Yeah. Well.
And the Beat has like 155 section tires, and he just didn't care
yeah.
because like the
Doesn't
road is like
weigh anything.
3-lane road. For a normal lane is like 3 lanes wide for a Beat.
Yeah,
So it can
Oh, yeah,
it can do like it can slide and recover and just like
Yeah.
do all sorts of maneuvers within that space. So it's
That's
like
fun.
yeah, it's like an amazing hood. But during that drive, my tachometer, which is the most important part of the Beat, stopped working because I want to see it hit 9,000 RPM in every shift, but I can't see it. I can't see it anymore.
Is it a gear, you think, or is there a common failure point?
I talked to Jake, and he said it's potentially some screws inside it, which you can buy for cheap and then fix potentially. But it could also be a battery which I let die by letting it sit for like 1 or 2 months. And like one of the first signs of the battery being bad is like the tachometer not working.
Really?
So yeah, apparently that's what I've been told.
Why is the battery
don't know.
the main car battery or
yeah.
weird?
Yeah, so it's either the screws or
Why is
it's
that
the
dependent
battery.
on the battery? That's so weird.
Yeah.
I guess it uses some charge.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Everything else works, so it
Weird.
could be the screws.
Huh.
And if it's not there, I'll have to overnight parts from Japan.
Oh, I did have one more update too.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So, the Mercedes. No,
Mercedes-
no.
Mercedes
Next. Sorry, I'm sorry.
is still in the same position.
It's in parts.
but we do have the Pistons. Actually, the Pistons came in today.
Okay.
So he should be putting the
Wait,
motors
is it-
together.
I thought it threw a rod.
The bottom end went, but we don't. It probably needs to hold
Yeah.
it. Needs a
We-
full.
Are you gonna
rebuild
rebuild it or just replace
He's
the motor?
rebuilding everything.
You don't want to just replace the motor like a crate motor?
No. It's
Really?
too, I mean, no. No. Dude, the crate motors were just too crazy.
Yeah.
It was like
But what if you rebuild it?
$25,000
Oh.
and it was a pay. I mean,
Yeah.
comes out of Texas.
LS,
Texas
even like an
being-
LS, a crate LS is that much money?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought
What about a
one-
Chevy?
one
What
that
about
you
a
want,
Chevy?
you know,
What about
that
some
would-
other Chevy motor, like a non-LS, like a 350 or something?
One that you want built, built
Yeah.
to race.
Man, I just hope it doesn't break again.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. What's your next update?
The other update was, I just want to say that. So, H&B
Mhm.
over in Berkeley.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hooked up with your dad and going over there and just found a bunch of freaking parts and a whole bunch of cool stuff
Did you buy
for
stuff
BMW. Yeah, I bought. I found the books
for
the
CSL?
E9 and for the E36.
Cool.
Yeah, all the original books. So grab some of those. Grab some little bits and ends that
Yeah.
Mike found. But it was freaking dude.
Oh, no, I wish I had gone over
Alpina
there.
stuff.
Everything.
Dude, M1 front ends.
Yeah, I
Everything.
heard some.
Trim pieces. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who don't know, H&B used to be like a gray market importer of BMWs and like a modifier, so they had like turbos, kits and stuff for these cars, and
Crazy.
they were like if you had a European like delivery BMW in the 80s and 90s in this area, mostly it was from H&B.
Yeah.
So another fun fact about that
Did
trip,
your dad's car come through there?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't think either of them came through H&B, but I've had some cars that came through H&B. His cars came like
I guess it came with an individual.
the silver one
Through
came
diplomacy.
through with Polish ambassador tags.
Yeah.
I don't know how the wagon came.
They did like a whole bunch of like, what is it, like the E3, like 323, like
Oh.
those
yeah.
series.
The original 3 Series.
2002s.
Yeah.
2002s, yeah. I mean, that's all that's
They did some
left.
Cool shit.
I mean, like before, when my dad went the first time, apparently our friend who has a shop in Berkeley bought like a bunch of like the good
M1
stuff,
parts,
like
yeah.
M1 stuff,
Bro.
E28 stuff, all the things that I
Alpina
need
stuff.
for my freaking M5. Like
Yeah.
he has like front spoilers that I desperately need badly for, and so he's gonna charge like 4 times. What
No,
he paid
just talk
for
to
them.
him.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to
Yeah,
him.
talk to him.
I am
Yeah,
because he has a lot of stuff I need.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are friends.
Yeah, but yeah,
Probably.
he's gonna make his money. But
Yeah, but
with
It's
which
still
is
going
fair.
to be less than market rate.
That I thought was interesting about HME. My dad found a service booklet for an E34 525i wagon that he just wanted to buy because he just buys literature anytime he gets a chance. He buys any literature on the cars he owns.
Yeah.
And apparently, he just out of kind of random bought a service booklet that he actually wrote in the 90s.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, which is awesome, right?
It was his mom.
It was my mom's mom. So my grandma's 525i that she leased, that he did all the service on for the 3 years that she
That's
owned it.
so crazy.
And he didn't even know, but apparently the person who bought it on lease return was H&B, the owner of H&B. So now he's on like a mission. He's like neurotically searching E34 wagons, trying to find this car. Apparently, like on Carfax, it has like 380,000 miles now, and it's still in California somewhere. So he's
Wow.
like trying to find it. It's like kind of like a
He
thing
can
for him.
do it through a dealer lookup if he finds.
We'll see.
somebody.
I have a feeling it's probably in a junkyard at this point.
It's probably gone.
380,000 miles is a lot of miles for an M50.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was just a fun tidbit that I thought was cool.
cool.
So H&B, it's basically picked over, so it's too late for you guys. But
Yeah.
yeah. So marketplace finds. The first thing I found today was a 2007 Aston Martin Vantage V8. This is a manual with bad wheels,
Oh my god!
but it's a manual. It says it's pending now, but $49,950.
This is sweet.
yeah, there's
sweet.
still what? How many miles?
30,000.
What?
Sweet. Yeah, they just
6
have
speed.
engine problems with the valve train and
Yeah,
stuff, but
the-
otherwise they're absolutely
Those
sweet.
wheels
But
are
the funny thing is that these are actually pretty desirable. The HRVs.
Yeah, I know they're HREs, but they're horrible.
If they were not chrome and they were about
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
2 inches smaller, they'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
But
yeah.
this is a really
Well, not on
interesting
this
car.
Not on that car.
Yeah.
Not on the car. Union City, so it's local.
yeah, these are great.
Is that gray or like silver? Or
It's
Silver.
light silver, maybe with a little bit of blue in
Wait,
it.
go back.
Yeah.
Does that door look repainted to you, or is that just the Facebook quality?
No, it's fine.
It's
Let me
impossible
see.
to
It's
tell in
like
photos.
the most beautiful.
No, it might
modern
be because
car.
this is clearly different right
That's
here.
what I thought.
It looks like it came out like a year ago.
Yeah, they look so good.
The best part about Aston Martins to me, for some reason, are the way the doors open.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah.
to like
A little bit up.
avoid curbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the remember Top Gear, like they're always like they're doing that to
Check engine light.
oh no.
No,
The
no,
lights
it's
on
not
the
running.
car's
It's
not on.
just, it's just.
Oh,
an-
okay.
I
So-
love this too.
This also
Yeah,
comes
yeah, yeah.
on. This also comes on when you remove a certain fuse associated with the valve of the exhaust.
Yeah.
So some owners want to keep the exhaust valves open all the time
220 one.
Yeah.
because it sounds
220
amazing with the
valve.
valves open.
I
Yep.
taught this to
that
my friend
leaves the
that has
engine.
3 of these, and he immediately took all 3 of them out.
Yeah.
In 2007,
That
I don't know
leaves
how
the
old I
engine
was,
jet lag.
but I was old enough to still have. I was young enough to still have an imagination. And when I created the ideal car in my head, I picked some random Hot Wheel chassis that I saw, but I always remembered this cluster.
Yeah, it's so
Like
cool.
the tack would always go this way, the speed would
Yeah.
always go that way, and in my mind, every time I was playing with my Hot Wheels, accelerating, my attack would always go this way.
Yeah, they're so cool.
And
It
I don't know
looks
why,
like-
but I love the way
This
I
looks
love
like
those.
it's machined out of a single block of aluminum.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It looks like it, and it's floodlit also. In the night, it's beautiful.
And if you've driven a couple of these are pretty like
They're incredibly good chassis.
they're cool.
Yep.
They're really really cool.
Did you ever hustle one?
No,
Yep.
no.
It is
They're just
really,
clients'
really
cars.
drove
good.
The
this
only
at
thing
the
I
tail of the
absolutely
dragon.
hate
It's
about
really
this is
good.
this. This is stupid. The way this works is dumb.
Well, that's just old school. I mean, a lot of older cars.
But like, but this
Like old
is. But
Ferraris have that.
you know how they like ratchet.
yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
you put it down, but then
And
you
then it
put
goes
it back
back
down.
down.
I
I know,
hate that.
the-
That's dumb. That's dumb.
But you have to get out of the
Testarosas
car.
have that.
I hate
think
that.
Countach-
Every car, it's just stupid. I don't like that. But other than that, this is a great car, and I would love to own it at some point.
The only thing
I
is
would sell
the-
my M5 for one of these. Actually, I would.
If you work on the engines yourself, this is totally amazing in terms
Yeah.
of the
I
This
value.
is
actually
the-
have
one
a
of the only
friend-
cars that's
I have
on
a
my
friend
M5.
who will be selling his, and it's in exceptionally good condition.
Does he want an E20 M5? Is this the same person?
No, he doesn't. He's older and
Okay.
can't- he needs to.
You can't drive stick
You
anymore.
can
Can't be
use-
buying more.
Well,
cars.
that's the car I would buy.
He's got a 250 Lusso and he can't drive it
There
because
it
of the
is.
clutch.
Okay, and then from an early podcast, I found this. This is the Chrysler TC by Maserati. This is the
Yeah,
counterpart for the Elante.
iconic.
Remember we saw one of these when we were filming?
I hate the
Down in
body.
Richmond, yeah.
I hate the body of this more than the Elante. I like the Elante's exterior more, but I like the Chrysler's interior more. Just it's a little bit more Maserati.
What is
like-
that glass box sort of thing?
It's the
It's a window.
What?
It's the window.
In the rear
So
corner
it's like
window?
it's like a porthole window.
It looks like a hearse.
Anyway,
Yeah.
this is just like a fun tidbit thing that I found. But
Yeah, it's cool.
We've been talking about these a lot. I don't know why, but like it's just look at how bad this carpet is. It's like, it just needs to be like these people need
Replaced.
to like I don't know for $10,000 you really need to just give someone $200 to just fucking fix this
Clean
shit.
that thing, man.
Anyway, those are my finds. We'll go into Robert's finds.
I have Jake Bauer to thank for actually both.
Jake Bauer's finds.
Yeah, I have to.
1994 Opel C.
It's cool.
The fuck is this?
Yeah, that's why I put it up because I've just never even heard of this car.
Holy, it's a Chevy.
I'm-
It's
Yeah.
Opel.
Yeah.
Imported,
The,
imported,
I don't
right?
line
know
is the,
what-
Imported, right?
Yeah, imported.
Was that the G6?
I
Pontiac?
guess it's probably the same chassis
Yeah.
with a different
And the
body.
what's that one out of Australia?
I don't know. This must be modified. Do you think those are the headlights? Do you think that's what they actually?
Holden.
No, I bet that's what it is.
Holden,
Yeah.
thank you, yeah.
It's pretty cool looking, in my mind. But
204
they're asking
horsepower?
like they're asking like $20K for it.
No,
right?
it's no. Yeah.
It's way too much. I mean, I think this is maybe like a $12,000 car max.
Yeah, Oscar, you're wrong, but it should be like 10
Yeah,
It's friend shaped.
for the experience.
it is friend shaped. It has friend eyes.
It's Miata.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an
yeah.
interesting car. You don't ever see Opels ever.
But wait, go back to the look at the taillights. Give me what does everybody think these taillights are from? Go just to the last photo. What do those look
It's
like?
like almost like a
850 CSI.
Mustang.
Right, I was gonna say SN95 Mustang.
Yeah, they do. They
Right?
look like Mustang.
Yeah.
Why?
headlights.
But it's a
It's-
GM car.
I
a
mean,
GM
yeah, I
car,
don't know,
right?
but those look exactly like. I guess it could be a Pontiac G8.
Yeah.
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 It's probably
General
what it
Motors.
is. Yeah. But they look like
Interesting.
SN95 to me. That's exactly.
Opel,
What
It also
Opel was
looks like
owned
the,
by GM until 2016 when I got laid off.
How it curves too reminds me of the 850.
yeah, with the pillarless look.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, but I'm sure this is horrible in person.
Yeah.
But it drives like
terrible in
shit.
pictures.
And
It drives like
his
shit.
other there's like 4 pixels in that photo. So
Yeah.
in other cars, there's a steering wheel, a 1983 Tercel wagon.
Oh
Wow.
man. Dude,
Yeah.
actually, I think it's pretty cool.
A getaway vehicle.
This is my serious. This is my serious submission. The other one was just like interesting, but this one, Jake literally sent me this like 10 minutes before I got
That's
here.
actually pretty
Why is
Oh.
this supposed to be cool?
I don't know. It's just it just looks.
I think this is a 22 RE,
Is it a 4A or? Oh,
right? I'm pretty sure these are
sorry,
20.
Nissan is 4A.
It looks biohazard.
Yeah, it does. Look at the floor mat. Don't care. Want it? How
It's
much?
biohazard.
$6,000,
Ooh. Do you think
Not-
he'd trade for my E30?
maybe.
I love the,
Is it
like, the
off-road?
old school like 4-wheel drive.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
levers
Oh yeah, it
and
does,
everything.
brother. It goes up a hill.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that. Going up a hill.
You don't really need all-wheel drive to climb this hill, but
It does have all-wheel drive though. I think.
Sell
right?
it. Sell it.
Yeah,
Is it
four-wheel
4?
drive.
It's 4
It's
or all-
all-time 4, I think.
Wow.
okay.
No,
What the
it's-
hell is that?
It's chilling.
It just
He's got
all
a-
4 wheels
He's
work at
got
the
a
same
gear
time
for,
always.
'Cause that's just all-wheel drive.
Low range.
All-wheel drive can like go back.
Yeah,
and
low
forth.
range, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just low range.
You can go for front wheels
Not
or
the
all
switch.
wheels at the same time.
All right. Well, that's it. I think
Yeah.
it's cool.
Oh, maybe
See?
not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a good
It's got a
find.
low-range gearbox.
Mhm.
Sean found a British car.
Thing.
British. That thing is straight from Kentucky.
Can
What are
you
talking
can you
about?
tell which one he found? Which one did he find?
So I'm pretty
Apparently
sick.
neither.
That one. He found that one.
66 Mini
Needs to phone
Cooper
a friend,
on
Ian.
a Suzuki Samurai chassis, and that looks pretty terrifying. Like
Dude, this is probably a
Any
horrible
evasive
experience. to
movers?
own.
Do you think
And
it's
you're
Do you think it's
dead.
like fixed to the chassis at all, or is it just kind of sitting there?
Some screws on
You know
it.
what I mean? Like, are you fixed to the chassis because the seats are?
it's liquid
like,
nails.
Mini monster.
Yeah, it's like finishing nails. You just took a nail gun and you bing bing bing.
Look, it's like
Look
kind
how
of
unstable that thing
sideways a
looks.
little bit.
It's not
Yeah.
even straight. Look at this. Doesn't even sit on the frame straight.
I'm
Wow.
not even
Yeah.
attached.
It's
I got this little frame
about
here.
what, like a 2 degrees.
I got this
Yeah,
chassis.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's one of those cars you look at behind you on the highway and you're like, you just gotta get away.
Yeah,
from
you
it.
gotta
Move over.
You're like,
like a- yeah.
at any point this thing is gonna fall apart and destroy,
How
kill
much
me.
are they asking?
2,500. So that's kind of like, you know.
Bro, look at how sick this dude is when it comes to Mini Coopers.
Yeah,
You see
he
him
is.
driving
got 'em
He's
all.
the final boss.
If I
That's
won
for
the
sure.
if I won the lottery, there'll be signs.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a little roof of a mini there, and there's also one right there. So there's 6, and there's 7 right there. You got 7 minis in a minivan.
I'm sure he has at least 3 in his living room.
Yep.
Go nuts.
Yeah, we didn't see the garage.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing in the garage, I guess.
The process. for
Whatever,
this.
yeah.
All right,
That's the
but
same body.
I gotta stop looking at this.
You want it,
Bad for me.
And then BJ found
I found a highly dignified Bentley.
another British car. This is a
Bentley
1995 Bentley Continental R. It's
with the
pretty cool.
6.75 liter
Look
engine.
at the front end on that.
I think
Is
it's-
it like
I
it
think it's
doesn't
cool.
go the chrome on there.
Well,
Looks
no,
like
it's
aftermarket.
it's chrome and long ass
Indicators.
indicators.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You mean the grill though? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks a little off.
Remember how people used to take like the Chrysler 300s and turn them into Bentleys and the
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still see him. You still see him kicking. You still see him kicking around places here. I see him a lot.
Interior's not too bad.
It's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, 54,000 miles is kind of a lot for one of these,
Yeah,
Cherry.
yeah, I'm sure.
but it's still
It's got chrome wheels.
Ugh.
it's got chrome wheels. 35,000 seems like a lot of money, but I don't know. Who knows?
Dude, you guys don't know about the 90s, bro. I mean, that was it. It was chrome everything in the 90s.
See, that's why it's not cool.
And then up next for VJ is a Ferrari
Ferrari.
360.
It's the cheapest I've seen.
60,000 miles,
I hate those
$67,000.
wheels. I hate those
Manual
wheels.
or automatic?
F1 transmission
F1
automatic.
F1.
Okay.
Not just any automatic. It's an F1.
Don't buy it.
That's, yeah.
This is for racers only.
Warning: nobody buy
This
this.
has
Beautifully integrated
Oh.
display.
an Alpine radio, a CarPlay equipped. The steering wheel is just shiny enough for you.
The pants match the interior.
The pants, yeah, you have to be wearing these, I think, to
Why
get
why
in
don't I
this.
want an F1 transmission?
360
It's single
like-
clutch. Single
you
clutch.
could have a manual, and it's just
It was marketed as a transmission from their F1 cars from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Single clutch, automated. Yeah.
it's just like kind of a pain to drive around in
Yeah.
daily.
It's
What is
the
this?
SMG.
in stop and go traffic. It sucks, and I don't know.
Is this a fire extinguisher or is
Yeah,
this like
it's a
some?
It's fire
Okay.
extinguisher.
Yeah.
You just much rather have a.
360.
This is a weird
Low
spot
lane.
for a one to put your feet there.
Right, feet there,
Yeah, usually it's under.
Oh,
the
it comes
seat.
with the stock wheels though,
Oh,
which is
the
nice.
actual-
Oh, nice.
Anyway, that's
All right,
that's
enough
fine.
of that.
And then the last one is a Alpina Z8. So this doesn't have an M5 engine, but it's still cool.
car.
10,000
Low miles,
miles.
Oh man, this thing's good.
You don't-
Timeless, bro.
You don't
Timeless.
really want the Alpina if you're going to get one of these because
Oh,
they're
really? Okay.
automatics only.
Yeah, you want
And
it
they
on.
have they don't have the let's see if we can find a picture. So they have the
S62.
M62. No, it's an M62. So this has the 540 engine that's been pumped. Oh, it's not. It's the
Hey.
X5 engine, the 4.8 X5.
You gotta remember
engine.
the whole theory with Alpina isn't sporty.
It's just GT.
It's yeah.
All it is GT. So this is a better GT car than the regular Z8.
It's actually so relevant that there's an SLR McLaren next to this photo while we're talking about the idea of being GT and not sports.
Yeah,
Because the SLR McLaren did the same
exactly. So like
thing. Looked
The
like it
Z8
should be a sports car, but
has a
performing
S62, which is quad overhead cam, way higher revving, manual only, kind of a crazy car. And this
Yeah.
is just like a perfect like Highway 1
But
cruiser.
why is it premium listed?
Because
Is it
there's-
because it's rare.
Because they
Oh,
paid for the
I mean,
premium
Alpinas
list.
just sell for crazy money.
Yeah.
Z8 Alpinas are worth a lot of money. They just aren't as fun to
I mean,
drive.
like, look at the seats. The seats are just like pretty basic looking. I don't know. It's Alpina is they could basically just like de-sported the car and turn it into a perfect cruiser.
and it's cool. I mean, those wheels are really cool.
Yeah, the wheels are cool. 10,000 miles. I mean, like, it's a crazy car.
diamond.
Anyway,
And it
that's a
also
good
has
find.
really nice gauges. It has blue gauges, which is cool. The Alpinas do, I think, right? That's
yeah,
not on the
yeah, the
stereo.
Alpina blue stuff.
That's a car that is completely timeless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, they
It's so
definitely
good.
Just
it's
like the 507.
always
Yeah.
classic.
That's the inspiration for this car.
Yep.
Yeah,
There was a time I was over at Fantasy Junction and they had a 507 and a matching
Alpina.
Alpina. Yeah,
That's cool.
crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, today's main topic is don't meet your heroes. So essentially, we're all curious if you've ever, dreamed of driving or purchasing a car that you've always wanted, and then you end up, inside the car, whether you've owned it or not owned it, and ended up, hating it or like being pretty disappointed by it. So I'll start. When I was a kid, my grandpa had a W211 Mercedes E500. It's just like the V8 sedan of the time.
The early 2000s.
early 2000s,
facelifted
2004,
E-Class Mercedes.
2005. And I always thought it was a good car, but I always thought it was crazy that there was a faster version, the E55. And I always wanted
So
to
funny.
own
I
one.
had the same experience with the W2 when I grew up with
yeah.
the same exact car.
Yeah, so when I bought one, my example wasn't perfect, but it really turned me off on the car because the dynamics of the car, like the way it steered and handled was bad. And like the dash was too far away from the occupant. So like I kind of felt like I was in like a weird poorly designed interior, even though like in pictures it looks amazing. And it made me kind of wonder that like the AMG wasn't even really worth it. It was like better to just buy an E500 or E550 because it was like 10% of the cost rather than getting the AMG. So that was definitely a don't meet your heroes moment. I've always wanted an E55 AMG. When I bought one, I was pretty disappointed. And then the other example that I chose was the E30 M3. This is a very like obvious choice. Everyone always talks about this, but driving an E30 M3 hard is like completely underwhelming. Even like I've never driven on the track, but like they're like 60 grand. And for 60 grand, you could
for like that's like median probably
for like an okay one.
Yeah,
but you could
pretty
spend
good one,
you
but
could
not
spend
amazing.
15 to 20 on the best E325 IS in the entire country.
Yeah.
And have the same experience.
Yeah.
Probably
And a
better,
better engine.
more torque,
Better engine.
better engine. The only thing about the S14 that's different is maybe it revs higher. That's it.
No.
But like if you're gonna do that, you're gonna go Japanese anyway at this era. So that's like the ultimate never meet your heroes car.
And like I asked Stretton of M539 Restorations when he came over to San Rafael for the Jason Camisa meet. I asked him what's the most overrated BMW. He said E30 M3.
It is.
I think
It
most
really is.
BMW nerds will say that.
Yeah, Stratton.
Yeah,
I think
I mean, I've driven a lot of them, and I just don't get them. There's no power at all until the top end. It's just like
It's crazy when you compare that to the
it's just made
E36
for-
M3 too.
Yeah.
If you drive those two back to back, because I think the E36 M3 is actually worth buying
oh yeah,
over the standard E36. Even still, and it's in a couple of years we're probably not going to be saying the same thing. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
yeah.
They just made it for DTM.
Yeah, it was a homologation.
Yeah,
thing,
right.
for sure. So Robert chose a C2 Corvette.
Yeah, so I kind of grew up with like one of my poster cars being a C2 Corvette for I don't even have a reason why. I just thought they were like incredibly good looking cars and really striking. They have a couple angles you look at that are a little weird, but I thought they were just like really iconic. And that was one of the reasons I bought that Camaro is because I really like Chevys. I mean, all cars from the mid-late 60s were just amazing, but the Camaro and the C2 for those years were, I thought, really, really, really cool. And then I got to experience one, and I was like, the 327 is a great motor. That was a highlight of the car. But I kind of had this expectation after owning the Camaro that the C2 would still be like dynamically a little bit of a step up from like where the Camaro was in that period. And it just like kind of wasn't. I mean, I think I should have known that because that's like how the car was revered. That's how the car was reviewed in period. It was like kind of embarrassed by a lot of other cars on the grid racing. They were never really particularly good, but I just like kind of wanted to believe they'd be this like phenomenal experience. So I was disappointed by like the dynamics of the car relative to what I expected it to perform compared to like the Camaro. It's still a really fun car to like drive and toot around town in, and it's really cute. You park it and it looks really cool. That's the only one I could think of. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, that's valid. Makes sense. I've never driven a C2.
Oh, you know what? Actually, my biggest Don't Meet Your Heroes car, which only just occurred to me because I forgot I owned one, was the third gen TL Type S. So my first car in high school was a TL, was a 2007 TL, and it was a manual 3.2 liter car. And I just like forever in high school, I remember being like 15 and like Googling like how to make more power in Acura TL third gen, and like finding turbo kits and stuff like that, and trying to convince my parents to let me buy a turbo kit for the Acura. And like they're like,
We need to
you're an
turbocharge
idiot.
this.
You're an idiot. Like this car is pretty fast already. Like you don't need that. And like, oh, okay. So I eventually, when I got out of college, I bought a TL Type S, a 6-speed TL Type S, the 3.5 liter car, and I think I just bought a bad example, but that car was pretty horrible. Torque steer.
Is it basically the Accord V6?
Is that a 3.5 or a 3.2?
I think it's a 3.5.
It's probably the next gen Accord
Okay.
V6.
Okay.
It's the same motor as I think the MDX, which
Okay.
should have been my
'Cause
first
Accord
giveaway. That
V6
would suck.
Yeah, because
all
Accord
torque, no
V6s
power.
are seen as good
Yeah.
cars,
But so it had crazy. I mean, it's 282 horsepower, I think.
The torque steer is tremendous on
The
that.
torque steer. I mean,
Yeah.
I think mine was more bad than it should have been.
Yeah, maybe there's something wrong
I
with
think
it.
there had to be issues because that car had 180,000 miles on it and probably like was pretty neglected.
I remember driving it up Mount Hamilton, and I got like car sick really badly.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
It just had tons of issues, and I still don't believe that at 0 miles that car was nearly as good as I hoped it was when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge letdown. The best part of that car was its shifter. The shifter.
Yeah,
was really
Honda.
nice.
Yeah.
Honda shifter. Yeah, classic.
VJ, what'd you choose? You chose 3.
So the most recent example of Don't Meet Your Heroes for me was the GR Corolla, because as soon as the GR Yaris came out in Europe, like everyone in the US was like, why can't we get one? This is so cool. It's a homologation special car that Toyota made for the WRC, and Europe gets it. And like we were all, pining to get the GR experience. But then when it came to the US as the Corolla version, which is even more powerful than the GR Yaris and even more capable on track, I finally got a chance to drive it. And for me, like on a back road, it can like totally embarrass and even destroy a lot of expensive supercars and like keep up with them, because it's made for WRC. It's basically a WRC powertrain. But when you're like owning it in real, in daily life and just driving it on normal roads and traffic, it was like extremely underwhelming. Specifically, like it just did not make any noise. It did not have the buzz in normal driving, and the steering, pedals, shifter, everything felt super cheap, like almost like video game cheap to me. When you compare it to some German stuff. So it's just like, it was like totally underwhelming, because my expectation for a GR WRC derived product was so high, and it just didn't have the fizz for me in normal driving. Yeah,
I've heard that from other people too.
yeah, but like if you're pushing it, it's just like incredible.
Makes
That's
sense.
one. And recently I also got a ride in a Ferrari 308 GTB, which was also underwhelming, because I think the owner was really afraid to push it because he thought it would break. So he never exceeded.
the problem
like,
is the value just isn't there. They're still expensive.
yeah,
to work on.
he never
It's not like a Mondial T. At least
Yeah.
it's not a Mondial T. Those are fucked.
he never crossed 4,000 RPM. He was just like
Really?
Yeah, he was like,
It's too bad.
and it just sounded like a 4-cylinder to me.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that
they do.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't sound
It
great.
just did not have any.
Yeah,
fizz.
that's a big miss for me too.
But it's absolutely gorgeous to look at, and everything is,
Yeah, I like the way they look.
Yeah, it's
The way
beautiful
they,
wedge shape.
I like
your
the
seating
320.
position's bad though.
I like the 328 more than the 308.
Oh, of course.
If I had
yeah.
to choose between them.
But this is like a purer shape with no intakes and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
more pure. But like it was black with tan leathers and everything.
Black looks good. I think black looks better on 308s than red.
Yeah, the looks that they promise they don't deliver in terms of the noise or the drama in driving.
Yeah.
That's one. And finally, I mean, air-cooled 911s have been overhyped so much lately
Yeah.
with the rise of the Porsche brand.
It's pretty incredible, man, how strong Porsche has been on the market
Mhm.
lately. I mean, almost every other major collector enthusiast car brand has taken a bit of a slip in this market slump, and Porsche just hasn't. Like,
Yep. Like whatever they make,
amazing.
it's just like
people just
bought
always
off.
want it.
yeah.
When it comes to air-cooled 911s, I think they sound great, and I think more or less is there a status symbol.
Yeah, they're still great.
Yeah.
They're still
Right.
great.
Nowadays,
the
for
thing
sure.
that,
They're
the thing that
yeah.
made them good too, and this is a great example with the C2 Corvette, is like if you drive a C2 Corvette, like a 65 C2 Corvette, and then or a 66 or whatever, and then you jump into an equivalent model year 911, it's like driving a car made by Fred Flintstone,
Yeah.
and then driving a car made by like a fucking rocket scientist. You
Yeah.
know, it's insane. Like the quality of the driving experience for the 60s
Yeah.
is insane. And it's, I mean, a lot of cars can have gotten to the point, a lot of manufacturers obviously have gotten to the point where they can reproduce that kind of driving experience now. But I think that legacy is like obviously what's so
Yeah.
important to Porsche.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like they've
Like,
just
don't
been
get me
building these
wrong,
modern
like,
cars
You,
for-
you
air-cooled
can't tell
911s
me
are
that
great.
an air-cooled 911 drives better than even a 997.
yeah,
Come on.
of course.
Come on.
It's
No
just a
way.
different experience.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's great, but
Status.
because of the brand and the hype around it is so high these days.
Yeah, it's too
won't
bad.
live
It's
up,
kind of
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we've talked about this multiple times, but it's really like the Ferrarification of Porsche.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's too
Yeah, I think
bad.
every enthusiast centered brand will experience that at some point.
Yeah, even BMW. I mean, for a lot of like old school BMW hardcore enthusiasts,
They're having their moment. I mean, BMW is very close to having that like back in the day kind of vibe. Like
Right.
it's not right yet, but now they're making all this like trash.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that like the M2 CS came out and then it kind of just like stopped.
Yeah.
So in like 5 years from now, the Porsche thing will happen to BMWs.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then they'll.
There has to be a time when the E34 gets recognized.
Oh, yeah.
That is,
I
I
would
think
think 5 to
the
6 years from
E34 has to be like one of the most underrated and underappreciated cars of the 90s. It's
I think
crazy
5 to 6 years from now, when enthusiast BMWs are so far gone, even M2 CSs are now 7 years old.
Yeah.
That everyone's gonna look back at and they're gonna be driving their iXs and be like, remember when like BMW made a car that had a fucking race motor in it?
Yeah.
That, like
Yeah.
that was
and
all
you
it
could just
had.
buy it.
And you could buy
Just
it,
buy
and,
it.
and the thing barely ran on an idle, and like it just could like it, but it was insane.
So
everything
much torque that the chassis twisted when I came off the line.
Well, that was one of the best parts about the E39. One of their claims to fame was that the car revved so fast that the tachometer couldn't keep up with it.
No.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you
So they
floored,
said that before Lexus.
yeah. So if you floored,
So
yeah.
much torque.
So much.
That when I had my M5, I would always tell people about that. Be like, hey, dude, when I
Chassis
floor this car,
twisted.
can't even
Came
keep
off
up.
the
So, anyway,
I could easily say mine were, we talked about it earlier, but
Yeah.
certainly the RS6.
Really?
Fast.
That was a letdown.
It was underwhelming. It was totally underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean,
It
that
was-
was.
it was
our-
I
heavy.
love that car.
So
It was
that's so
under-
the vibe it
understeering.
gave me was like, I'm so excited about this car, and it delivers on all of the immediate pleasures I want, which is like a ton of torque and power on tap, and like super comfortable on the road, and it massages my ass, and it plays really good music. But like, it gave me the idea that like after a while of owning it, like all those endorphins would be gone because it would just be a kind of a
it's sold as
painful
more or
thing.
less like a sports car
yeah.
on a station
Yeah.
wagon.
But it's a
chassis.
wagon.
It's a fucking wagon.
Well, how much does it weigh?
It's a
Like
fast wagon.
4,500 pounds.
They're heavy as hell.
Yeah.
It feels like a video game. I don't feel the speed in it.
Yeah,
When
it's,
I had
it's
I had a
weird.
different experience with it. When I drove your car, I almost wish this was like just an A6 all road with like with the same interior and the same sound system and the same interior lighting packages and stuff.
You don't want any.
I almost was like, I don't need this stiff, powerful experience. I just want it to be comfortable and it to sound like all the experience I'm experiencing now besides the motor.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like it might be like, I think fast wagons in general right now don't really like,
And then it had that stupid rev limiter on it.
it did have rev limiter?
Yeah. You could only
Like an idle or what?
you could only.
Oh, yeah, that's no. Yeah, that's
I hated that.
When you're parked.
Yeah,
it caps it at
That's
4.
stupid.
The
That's
211 E55 did that too.
Stupid.
I mean, most modern.
And it
cars.
had
And-
like
but
speakers,
number one-
speaker playing the engine noise.
It did do that. You could turn it off though.
Yeah,
yeah.
you turn it off.
Number one, overall was certainly the i8. That one.
That was a hero for you.
I saw one the other
I
day.
was the fucking hero car, bro.
It
Bro,
kinda
I love
was.
Tom
It was a
Cruise,
hero
dude.
car.
Okay, I love Tom Cruise.
yeah, and I
When
was
saw
a
that
hero car when it
in
came
Mission
out.
I'm glad I met
Impossible,
you after the i8 was sold.
And I was like, oh man, dude, I gotta have that one.
When that car came out, I thought it was
looks- it
going to be
looks so
like
cool.
it was kind of a hero car.
I mean, before they released any details on the car, I thought it'd be cool. And then the second they released any specs on the car, I was like, it's
Yeah.
done. Like,
What sucked is, it was great. Well, it wasn't great, but it was cool, like to smash
Yeah.
to like, maybe 80, 90s per hour.
Yeah.
But then it just fell off.
yeah,
So
well, yeah.
bad.
It's a 3-cylinder hybrid, right?
Yeah.
But it was really, really quick off the line.
It was
it's
it was quick off the line. Not really,
Not
really quick off
there
the
was
line.
no
I guess
Yeah.
the
For
i3 was,
BMW.
the i3 was the fastest off the line of its fleet ever
Yeah.
when it came out. So
Also one of the fastest depreciating cars ever.
yeah,
Oh man.
So air cooled. We weren't talking about that though. We were
yeah,
talking
we
about
were
we
talking
were,
about
yeah.
them being a little bit. Yeah, whatever. Okay, well, whatever. We'll figure
Anyway,
it out.
yeah, air cooled 911s are overrated, and I'm sure that people are going to hate us for saying that. But in the comments, comment
overpriced.
down below why you hate us.
They're
That's
not
fine.
over. I don't think they're overrated. I think they're overpriced. I think
They're
they are.
overpriced.
I think they are as good as people say they are. But I think they're just for the volume of them on the market, they're insanely.
Yeah.
overpriced.
The experience is never worth over $100,000 ever for any of them. Period.
Yeah. Well, there's some that I think are. Like some of the RSs and some of those
Sure.
things.
It depends.
we're
There's
just
very
talking about-
specific use
we're
cases.
talking
But,
about the base cars.
Yeah.
but anyway, so the scenario, it is tax season for those who don't know, who are watching in the future. So put yourself in these shoes.
We don't talk about taxes.
You have unsuccessfully avoided taxes this year. And by that, I mean the IRS is now after you and is hunting you down.
Did you know that there's a clause in the IRS website that says you have to report stolen stuff also.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Report
because the
your
IRS
income.
wants all your income.
Because so that they can
They don't
charge
care.
you.
They don't
The
care. if
IRS
it's
doesn't
stolen.
discriminate. It says
They-
all of your money is our money.
You have to report stolen stuff also.
Yeah, good. That's what. Yes, exactly.
Because like so they can charge you with that also.
Yeah,
In
it
addition
was just
to the
hilarious.
stealing. Yeah.
Okay, so
But
what's
anyway,
the
you've
scenario?
you've unsuccessfully avoided that stuff,
Sean, you listening?
and now the IRS is after you and is hunting you down to retrieve the money you owe them. They will stop at nothing to find you. They're using your cell phone, their credit card, your credit card transactions, your geolocations, everything you use on the internet. They're just looking at you. They're finding you. They're going to use helicopters, boats, cars, bikes, AI, everything.
And then
Air Force One.
So basically, it's going to be very hard to run, but you're still going to try to escape because you owe them money. And
Yeah.
you don't want to pay that. So how are you escaping? Are you using a car? Are you using something else?
Does it have to be? Can we put money into a car?
Anything you want. How are you escaping? Are you taking cash out of your bank? Are you trying to because they're going to freeze your assets? Like what? How do you get off the grid?
Yeah.
What is your game plan to avoid the IRS? And this isn't consumer advice, by the way.
Not consumer advice. Do
This
not
is
avoid the
a
IRS.
made up scenario. None of
Oh,
us are
man.
avoiding taxes. Probably
no.
he might be avoiding maybe, but other than that,
I have no
Legally.
legally, allegedly.
income. I'm paying 90% of my salary in tax.
Can I go ahead and jump in on this one?
Yeah.
The first one?
Yep.
Perfect.
I would never evade taxes, and I'm not going to do that. And I
On
don't
the
have a
advice
plan.
of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question.
Thank you, sir. Valid point.
That's a very good answer.
So I guess Sean's invoking the Fifth Amendment. I someone else go because I haven't really thought about it yet.
I'm gonna K-swap a rally beetle, like one of the ones that people take on like the Baja, because you can do that for $7. And then I'm selling all of my stocks and pulling all my money out of my retirement fund, and selling all my cars for like 10% of their value. So I'll take all my cash, and then I've got a friend with a family in Colombia, so I'll probably just go straight to Colombia.
Nice.
It's good.
Put everything I can in the Beetle. I guess that's all I could really do, and then I'll like open a nightclub there or something, and then
That's a good idea.
start a new business, and I'll change my name to Roberto.
Yeah, they'll never know.
Nobody will know. Nobody will know.
They'll never know.
Grow a mustache.
Yeah, grow a mustache, wear a hat,
Yep.
wear sunglasses.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah, the Baja Beetle is really a core element to my story.
Baja Beetle. Yeah, I think my friend has a Toyota Sequoia from 2003 that he would sell me for $800. So I'm going to buy that in cash, and then I'm going to drive to the nearest Wells Fargo, and I'm going to force them to give me all my cash.
So it
Then
sounds
I'm-
like you're also going to have the federal government after you for stealing from a bank.
Yeah, so I'm going to take all the money that I can. I have everything that isn't crypto. I guess I will take in cash, and then I will drive to Watsonville, where there's just farms,
Yeah.
and then I
You
will
can find one of
hide
the weed farms up in the Northern California
in
area.
Humboldt or
that's-
something.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go to Watsonville because there's the ocean there, so at least I can enjoy myself. I'm going to
So
hide
you're
in
gonna
my
stay
Sequoia.
in America.
I'm going to stay in America. I'm going to hide in my Sequoia. I'm going to I'm going to work in the fields.
He's going to Whitey Bulger it.
I'm gonna work in the fields, and I'm gonna live off the land, and I'm only gonna be paid in cash, and hope that I don't get found.
You wouldn't go to like
Who's that
Canada?
white guy
I'm gonna
in the
go for it.
field?
I'm gonna go for it. You know, but at a certain point, I'll get tan, right? I'll get really tan at some point,
That's not right.
right?
yeah.
I can bun it a little
Work.
bit. I mean,
I don't know why I didn't think of Canada. Canada sounds lovely.
Yeah, I mean, they love you there. I mean, they'll give you money. I think if you go there.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but yeah.
Toyota Sequoia. It
Yeah,
blends in.
Sequoia's
It
a
blends
good
in.
call.
2003
Good
beige on beige, cloth seats
Yeah.
works
Wait, how much money do I owe the IRS?
as much as you want. How much money do you owe them right now? You don't even
No,
On the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination, and I respectfully decline to answer your question.
Okay, fair judgment. You have the rights. BJ, how are you getting away from the IRS?
No, yeah, like I've made like $50 this year by doing photos for clients. So like I've not reported that yet, or like last year. So I've not reported that.
You made $50 this year?
Allegedly,
Hang on,
haven't
DJ.
reported.
We should have somebody in there.
I got a quote.
I regret to inform you that I invoked my Fifth Amendment right. I do not recall any of these $50.
I made $50 in,
protect the
lunch,
50
in lunches that have been paid for me.
Yeah. To protect those $50, I'm gonna go back to my home country and like.
How would you get to India? Would they let you fly? What's the restriction on flights?
Well, I mean, if the
No,
IRS is after you, they're after you.
Before they detect you. So I'll have to move to a country that has no extradition treaty with the US.
Yeah.
So I know like Carlos Ghosn of Nissan.
Yeah.
He went to Lebanon,
Yeah.
which has no extradition treaty with Japan and some other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So like Lebanon would be a good choice because no one can extradite me for tax reasons. So like I would just read up the story of Vijay Mallya, who is the big business mogul who used to own airlines. He used to own an F1 team.
Huh.
He used to own he owed billions of dollars to banks. So he just flew out
Good
to
for him.
Yeah, he just flew out to a
If
country
you could
with
do
no
it,
extradition
you could
treaty.
do it.
Good for him. So he just take his private jet to countries with where he couldn't be
Yeah.
extradited and
Yeah.
stay there.
Yeah, he's still doing that. Like so, and
Huh.
and India's not been able to.
Maybe I should study up
extradite him.
on him.
Yeah,
I mean, if you know your extradition law,
yeah. Just do
Just
what
go to a
Carlos.
different country.
Just
Yeah.
do what Carlos Ghosn did, like hide inside a piano box
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
get shipped out of Japan.
So you have Cambodia, Indonesia, Bhutan, Brunei,
Sean's been looking into this.
China, Morocco,
That's
Algeria, Vatican City.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, you know.
I choose
I'm gonna
Bhutan.
become.
You're going to become a priest.
I'm gonna become a priest.
Yeah, become a
Bhutan
priest.
is
That's-
perfect. You can be a Buddhist priest in Bhutan. It's a
Afghanistan.
very peaceful country.
I'll do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can live. It's
I
a
feel like
vegan
I
one.
honestly, I think I need that kind of peace in my life.
Yeah.
I think I need that
You got nothing going on. Everything's paid for you. You get to look at art that's been stolen for centuries or something.
from other countries.
Yeah.
and-
Somalia.
Probably pretty good.
Oh, Somalia. That
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
I'd do really well in Somalia.
Become a pirate.
You probably would die.
Why
You
not?
wouldn't die for like at least a couple of
Days?
a
day or two.
I was gonna say weeks, but
Yeah.
No, I'd do great in
There's
Somalia.
some great.
there's pirates there. You could become a pirate. You could become a pirate.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
cool. You
Yeah,
could be like
yeah.
Davy Jones or something.
Yeah.
Davy Jones.
Yeah. So that's
yeah,
the
that's a
plan.
good one, Joe.
None of this is consumer
Hypothetical.
advice.
It's all
Please pay your
hypothetical.
taxes.
It's all hypothetical.
It is tax season. Pay your taxes. It's very easy to pay your taxes. We're not responsible for your
There's also
stupid shit
the
that
free
you have going
free
on.
federal tax filing tool also now, which is like
Oh, really?
finally made it to the people after TurboTax and all these
After
companies.
178 years of
They
not
spent-
telling American
They
citizens
spent
how to pay taxes.
$5 trillion lobbying against lobbying against free tax filing
They
tools.
printed so much money that the printers ran out of ink. They still
Like
lost.
they lobbied so much that they're the president of the US now. But they finally managed to like lose the fight against the free tax filing tool. So yeah.
I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah, so comment down below your strategy, but know that it's alleged.
Yeah.
And you
Just
can
leave
invoke
a
the fifth.
disclaimer.
Invoke the fifth if you'd like,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah. Good luck.
that's it. Anything else before we close?
I hope to one day be as wise as Sean.
And that was a good one, yeah.
He was writing that the whole time.
Yeah, he was waiting. He was waiting for it.
Are you paying attention? I'm
like,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm,
He's like,
paying,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
paying a lot of attention.
I'm on the phone
right
with my lawyer right now. All right. Anything else?
That's all we
We're
got.
good.
Good night.
All right. Later.